G-thoughtz.
Wherefore art thou? Wherefore art thou?
Imagine if you lived forever. Wouldn't you go insane? Seriously. It never ends. Because, people think that longevity, the longer you live, equals, well, a great experience, quality, abundant energy, all that stuff. All the socialist stuff that we talk about. By the way, I've got a book called The Socialist Manifesto. Socialist, not government, like socialists, like those who run New York. I mean the soul, S-O-U-L. It's a whole other thing. But one of the things I talk about is basically bringing value to everything and everyone around you. I'm trying to make the world better, literally and figuratively speaking. Sometimes you got to dig some holes and remove a couple trees. And sometimes you got to plant a flag and you got to stand up for something. You know what I mean? So if you live forever and your life never ended, then how would you ever know that you got the job done? And you might say, well, there's many tasks, many jobs, many purposes. Well, if you knew you could live forever, wouldn't you where would your motivation come into? It's not directly going to stop you from existing. It might stop others from existing. Because if you live forever, you're going to see them all pass away. Maybe you don't care about that either then. Maybe it's easier then. What's easier? It's to not live at all. So you don't get attached to anybody because you're going to have to see every one of them leave. If you lived forever, you would have to see everyone you loved, gave a shit about, were interested in, come and go. Every one of them. And you'd have to start again. You'd have to start a whole new life again, never having ended your own life. You got to find new interests, new people to be interested in, all that stuff. Think about that for a second, what I just said. Because if you live forever, you're going to have to adapt. You're going to have to evolve. You're going to have to change. You have to learn all the new technology. Regardless, there's no little kid that's going to come and help you unless you have a little kid that's going to come and help you when you start your new life again. Or else that little kid's going to grow up. You're going to see them have their own kids. And those kids have kids. And those kids have kids. And everyone starts dying because you're going to outlive them. And this scenario sounds really dark and demented. And no, I'm not smoking, but okay, I'm smoking a cigar. Wink, wink. But I thought about that. Living forever. The longer you live, the more experiences you'll have, the better chance you'll see all the patterns in life, so you'll be more convinced it's a simulation. But you're going to have to see it all come to an end and start over again. You're not going to die on the outside, but you're going to have to keep dying on the inside constantly. You're going to have to constantly rebuild your ethos, which I think is the right word for what the message I'm creating here, cultivating. You got to change it constantly. So by definition, you'd be forced to evolve, or else you're just going to be alone and going insane, not having anything to entertain you, to enthrall you, to challenge you. And you would just sit there wanting to die. End this awful life. No, kid, you're living forever. And then you couldn't wait to get into your dreams, because that's your only respite from that crazy life. Now, if I took those dreams away from you, the literal dreams you have at night, you would absolutely go insane. As the light goes off across the way. Yeah, your lights would go out. You couldn't take it. My friends, that's why we don't live forever. At least not in the physical form. Or that we remember. We have to have our minds erased, kind of like the Men in Black thing. You have to let go completely. Because our souls are eternal. We talk about that in the book. Or at least I do. ChatGPT and I do. I had some conversations. No, he didn't write the book. I did. He just helped me fine-tune it, kind of iron it out. That's a whole other thing. But think about it. There's a reason why we have finite experience here on Earth, or wherever you think we are. Because if that experience went on forever, we would literally go insane. And you'd have to assume that everyone would be with you living on forever. No, I'm saying just you. Just you. Because if they lived on forever, they're going to have the same problem you do. And eventually, there's going to be nothing to do. The same old people. I'm going to be forced to get to know them. I'm going to be forced to meet new people, so forth and so forth. Listen, I got to go. I just thought it was interesting, thinking about living forever and longevity and all this stuff. Our souls are eternal. Our souls are, that conscious energy is going to be there forever. How do you balance that out? With a finite existence in the physical. And just to make sure that they're still buying in and they understand the Z at the end of this, we're going to start from scratch each time. We're going to wipe them clean of their memory, not of their operating system, not of their characteristics and their traits and their XP. That's in the top right corner of the screen. And in the simulation, you never lose that. As a matter of fact, that's the whole point. Yeah. Full moon. Or close to it. A waxing gibbous. Is that what that is? Or is it waning? Well, listen, I don't want to make a bad dad joke here, but this wolf needs to go howl at the moon. I'm going to blow some smoke rings around it with my cigar. If that thought that I planted there kind of jostled something in your mind, you started thinking, let me just add one little sprinkle of something, some salt on top of it. How much life do you think you have left now? And does it matter? Because if I went the other way and I told you exactly when you were going to die, but I guaranteed you're going to have a fulfilled life, how would you handle that? Would you be staring at the clock the entire time? Would you be worried about having that amazing life? Or would you not ever challenge yourself because you know exactly when you're going to die and you could always put that out for later? You only got so much time, kid. I got to go live. Especially if you're going to die at 21. You would look at life as a completely different situation than if you were dying at 92 or 99. You would live life a lot differently. And you probably wouldn't like it. I mean, think about that last year of your life. You're like, fuck, I'm about to leave. I ain't shaving. Cutting my hair? Fuck that. Showers? Once a year. You just do your thing. Well, look, this might sound corny, but I got to roll. And I got to go smoke my cigar. I was going to say something else, but if you come this far, then you definitely give a shit about this whole project and you care about me, even though you might not even know me. I have a feeling that by the end of this, if you listen to them in order, you'll have a really good idea of who I am. And maybe you want to have coffee with me one day. Or maybe not. Listen, I got to roll. We'll talk soon. Bye.